Metal Monday, and you know what, man? I see a lot of green out there.
Dude,
today.
this is like I don't even know what to do with myself today. It feels like it's St. Patty's Day. It's green.
Is it Friday? Can I go drink beers yet?
We can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, cool.
Let's go right now.
All right. I like it. Well, it feels like a Friday because there's a lot of green out there. I mean, copper is on its way to 4. I don't know when we get there. If I think we do get there this month.
I did that LinkedIn poll, and I think it was like 168 votes or something like that, right? And you know what the overwhelming majority was?
No. Yep.
65%. I think I'll post it back up on, but it's I think 65% of the world is pessimistic.
I voted yes. So
yes, I'm like, dude, no, we're going there. We're going to 4. I mean, you know how we roll. Like we're gonna sit there and cheer this sucker on.
Feels like it's going that way. I mean, everything else looks good too. Nickel, aluminum, everything's green. You know, the PGMs are green, and you know,
what I've been kind of reading is, you know, it's more supply driven, right? It's even on the copper side. China hasn't come out and like said they're gonna go crazy buying copper. I mean, there's, you know, I think that was like Codelco mine or whatever. We're talking about shutting down or like they were slowing down. So I think there's enough of supply issues that not necessarily like demand.
Not
the
like
demand is there, but
it's still there, but nothing like out of the norm.
Yeah, like nothing that's like to drive it crazy, right? But man, if you ever did create some demand and then the lack of supply out there, that you could see copper make a big move, you know?
Okay, so what else are you seeing, though? Are you seeing a lot more demand on nickel out there? You're seeing a lot more demand on aluminum from
I think it's just
consumers.
Supply. I mean, I've had a fair amount of people that, you know, we've done a little bit of business with over the years. Some people we've done a lot of business with over the years. They're like, hey, we're looking for units, right? We're looking for loads, weight. You know, we've got XYZ commitments that we've made, and I think a lot of them are struggling meeting those commitments.
Okay.
Just because the volume of scrap has been in, you know, fairly short supply, which we've been talking about on the ferrous side for a while. I mean, these markets settled out, you know, down $30, you know, and I think at least on the, you know, the big iron, you know, maybe even a little, maybe depends on less on the shred grades, maybe 20 to 25, depending on which direction you're going. But you're definitely looking at some pretty big down moves in the Midwest and would be like east of the Rockies.
They're more down like 40 to 60.
40 to 60, right? With maybe even a mid-month drops coming.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, talking to our friends from the Midwest they feel like they're getting their nuts kicked in every day over there with the market pricing.
But in their defense, they've had higher prices than we've had over here on the West Coast, you know, Northwest for a while now. Not that I think their prices are probably even still higher if you even after you take into consideration this drop. So, you know, I think it's all relative. You know, somebody like, oh, the market's off $1. Well, if you start at 5, it's not as big of a deal. But if you start at 2, then $1's big. You know, and so I think it just depends on, you know, where you started from. It's hard to, you know, measure your drops without knowing your starting point.
Well, I hope we get to $4 copper. I hope the Midwest doesn't see a mid-month drop in ferrous, including us. I hope we don't see that.
Yeah.
I hope we see it. I hope we see an up number in ferrous in April. I don't know if I see that happening, but if the non-ferrous keeps cooking,
it helps the cause. A wise man once told me you can hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up quicker. But that being said, I'm optimistic that we weather the storm, whatever's coming our way, and we actually, you know, the commodities stay in the game. I think, you know, I'm hopeful that the dollar is maybe topped out, and, you know, if we do get some serious, you know, economic, you know, activity as far as rates come off a little bit, they stoke the inflation a little bit, like you can see base metals take a run.
When is the next rate meeting?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. They just had it.
They just had one.
A week or so ago.
What did they say a week or so ago?
They said, well, essentially they're getting more comfortable with the idea of cutting rates.
Okay.
So they're not cutting, but they're coming around.
Things just held sideways?
They're coming around to the idea that, you know, a rate cut in the future isn't detrimental to the economy as a whole. Whether that's true or not, I'm not here to like discuss that.
That's
but
kind of
what
above
they were
my
saying.
pay grade, but I'm trying to understand.
yeah.
Trying to understand how that affects everything.
I'm just trying to know which way to go, like which way to.
I know when they cut them, the commodity markets go up. That's what I know.
Yeah.
So
when the U.S. dollar index is red, usually that bodes well for the base metals, the precious metals, because I think that means that the dollar strength is coming off, which then stokes a little maybe potential inflation. So we'll see. We'll see what the month brings us. But so far,
and we're already in the middle of the month almost. By the end of the week, we will be, and then we got another generational courage coming.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, we got a family out of Texas.
Okay.
That we had a podcast with when we were down in Houston, and really good story. Another multi-generation business that I love highlighting those just because they ring true for me so heavily. But there's just so much going on there,
and I think they ring true for many people in the scrap game. I mean, it's a pretty common, thing with other companies throughout the industry.
And I think whether it's the demolition industry, whether it's so many of these so many industries are not just the scrap we feel that's true. We're in, but are just multi-generational.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of demo guys are that way too.
Yeah,
so
businesses. So it's always interesting to talk to those people and just kind of see how their journey went.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and then we're about about a month away from Isri. So we're going to be over there to see all our friends, and excited for that too.
Absolutely. Talk to you guys next Monday. Take care.
Thank you.